A gardener walks out into their small garden in the early morning, expecting everything to look the same as yesterday. But something feels off. On a few plants, soft white clusters are forming under the leaves. Tiny green insects are gathering along the stems, almost like they appeared overnight. At first, it doesn't seem serious. The plants still look mostly healthy, still green, still standing. But within just a few days, that quiet corner of the garden begins to change. Leaves start to curl slightly. Some stems lose their strength. The same plants that looked fresh a week ago now appear tired, almost as if they aged too quickly. And here is what confuses many gardeners. Sometimes, without any strong chemical sprays or complicated treatment, a plant suddenly begins to improve faster than expected. That feels backwards. How can something so small disappear without harsh effort, while something so careful still fails to stop it? In moments like this, many experienced gardeners begin to notice a pattern. Not just once, but across different seasons, different plants, and different gardens. There seems to be a simple, almost unremarkable approach that changes how these pests behave in a short time. Something so basic that most people overlook it at first glance. A simple spoon-based mixture that quietly affects what is happening on the surface of the plant. But we are not going to rush into that yet. Because before understanding any solution, it helps to slow down and truly understand what is happening on the plant itself, and why these tiny insects create such noticeable damage in such a short period of time. And if this situation feels confusing or even frustrating, that is very common. You are not doing anything wrong. What often surprises gardeners is how something so small can create such visible stress on a plant in so little time. Aphids and mealybugs are not large insects, and they do not destroy plants in a dramatic way. Instead, they work quietly. They attach themselves to stems, leaves, and new growth, feeding slowly on the plant's natural fluids. This feeding process weakens the plant from the inside, even before any visible sign appears. At the beginning, the plant may still look strong. The leaves remain green, and growth continues normally. But underneath that surface, the plant is already losing energy. This is why many people only notice the problem when it has already become visible. What makes this even more interesting is the time difference. A plant can appear perfectly fine for days or even weeks, and then within a very short period, it begins to decline. Leaves that were upright start to droop. New growth becomes smaller. The change feels sudden, but in reality, it has been developing slowly all along. This contrast between slow buildup and fast visible damage is what confuses many gardeners. It creates the impression that something happened overnight, when in fact the process started much earlier, quietly, and without obvious signs. To understand why these pests keep returning, it is important to look beyond the surface of the plant. Many gardeners focus only on what they can see. They remove visible insects, wipe leaves, or spray the plant once and expect the problem to end. But the life cycle of these pests is more persistent than it appears. One of the most overlooked reasons they keep coming back is the presence of hidden eggs. These are often placed under leaves or in small protected areas where they are not easily noticed. Even if the adult insects are removed, these eggs can remain untouched. After some time, they hatch and the cycle begins again. Weather also plays a quiet role in this process. Warm conditions tend to speed up their growth and reproduction. In cooler seasons, the activity slows down, but it rarely stops completely. This is why many gardeners feel like they are dealing with the same problem repeatedly, even after cleaning their plants carefully. There is also another common misunderstanding. Many people assume that once pests are removed, the problem is solved permanently. But in reality, gardening often involves cycles. Without breaking that cycle, the issue returns again and again. This brings us to a gentle but important point. The way we respond to these pests can sometimes create additional stress for the plant itself. A common mistake many home gardeners make is relying too heavily on strong sprays or repeated chemical treatments. At first, these methods may seem effective. The insects reduce in number, and the plant looks cleaner. But over time, frequent or harsh treatments can begin to affect the plant's natural balance. Leaves may become sensitive. Growth may slow down slightly. And in some cases, the plant becomes more vulnerable rather than stronger. Another issue is inconsistency. Some gardeners apply treatments once and stop too early. Others repeat them too often. Both approaches can lead to incomplete results. The plant ends up in a cycle of temporary relief rather than stable recovery. It is important to understand that the plant itself is not the enemy. In many cases, it is simply reacting to stress. When we change how we approach the situation, the plant often responds differently as well. Now, here is where something interesting begins to appear. Over time, experienced gardeners who closely observe their plants start noticing a subtle pattern. Not in one garden alone, but across many different environments. They begin to see that certain mild, simple household mixtures seem to influence pest behavior more gently and more consistently than expected. At first, this observation does not seem important. It appears too simple to make a real difference. But when the same result is noticed again and again, curiosity naturally grows. There is one mixture in particular that keeps coming up in these observations. It is often measured in very small amounts, sometimes just a single spoon added to water. Nothing complex, nothing dramatic. And yet, in certain cases, it appears to change how pests interact with the plant surface. What makes this especially interesting is not a sudden dramatic effect, but a steady and repeatable response. Gardeners who have used it carefully describe noticing changes in pest movement and plant appearance over a short period of time. It is important to understand that this is not magic, and it is not an instant solution that erases every problem immediately. Instead, it is part of a slower interaction with the plant environment. The real curiosity lies in this simple idea. Something so small, so ordinary, continues to show consistent results across different conditions. And that is what keeps bringing attention back to it. When we look closer at how such a gentle mixture interacts with pests, the explanation becomes more grounded and understandable. These insects rely on feeding through direct contact with plant surfaces. When that surface changes even slightly, their behavior can be affected. In some cases, the mixture creates a light barrier that makes feeding less comfortable for them. In other cases, it simply disrupts their ability to stay attached for long periods. This does not happen in a dramatic instant, but rather as a gradual reduction in activity. This is why results are often more noticeable on smaller infestations or early-stage problems. When the pest population is still limited, the plant has a better chance of recovering naturally with minimal stress. At the same time, it is important not to expect sudden or extreme results. Healthy gardening is rarely about instant change. It is about small shifts that build over time. But even when a method is simple, its success is still influenced by the environment around it. Climate plays a much bigger role than many people realize. In warmer, humid conditions, pests tend to reproduce more quickly. In dry or cooler environments, their activity slows down. Indoor plants also behave differently compared to outdoor plants because airflow, light, and temperature remain more stable inside. Seasonal changes also matter. During certain times of the year, plants grow faster and become more attractive to pests. In other seasons, the same plants may naturally resist infestation more effectively. This is why the same approach can produce slightly different results depending on where the plant is located. Understanding this helps reduce frustration and encourages a more patient way of observing plant health. When using any gentle mixture or approach, safety and care should always come first, especially in homes where children or pets are present. The goal is never to harm the plant or the environment, but to support a more balanced condition. Application should always be light and thoughtful. Overuse is not necessary and can sometimes create unnecessary stress on the plant surface. It is better to observe how the plant responds rather than repeatedly applying more without reason. Some plants are more delicate than others. Soft-leaved plants, young seedlings, or recently stressed plants should always be treated with extra care. In gardening, small adjustments often work better than strong actions. And there are also moments when it is better not to act immediately. If a plant is already recovering on its own, giving it time and space can sometimes be more helpful than constant intervention. As we step back and look at everything together, one idea becomes clearer. Many gardening problems feel overwhelming not because they are complicated, but because they are observed too quickly and acted on too strongly. When gardeners begin to slow down and observe instead of reacting immediately, something changes. Patterns become easier to notice. Plant behavior becomes more predictable. And solutions start to feel less stressful and more natural. It is often in this quieter approach that real improvement happens. Not through constant action, but through steady understanding. And if you have noticed similar patterns in your own garden, it may be helpful to reflect on them gently. How often do you check your plants closely? Do you notice changes early, or only after they become visible? If you feel comfortable sharing, it is always interesting to hear how often you observe your plants and what changes you usually notice first. In the end, gardening is not only about controlling every problem. It is also about learning how to watch, understand, and respond with patience. Because sometimes, the garden improves the most when we do less, and simply observe more.